Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Gashi Skyman. William Samoei Ruto gave directives to the Ministry of Land, led by none other than CS Alice Wahome, to repossess all the land in the country that has been acquired illegally. He wanted, or he gave instructions that going forward, that the Ministry of Land should repossess any land, no matter the person who owns that land, as long as it was acquired through illegal means. And as we know, the issue of land in Kenya is very, very emotive. The issue of land is a matter of life and death. If you have been following Kenyan politics, you agree with me, is that the issue of land is so dear to Kenyans, and it is the one that led to the struggle for independence. In fact, Mau Mau struggle, the Mau Mau fighters were fighting for their land. Mau Mau fighters were shedding their blood because of land. When William Samoei Ruto said this, I could read a number of people saying or telling Wahome to start with Roai sewage land. Is the owner of that land. I don't know who grabbed that land. They're also talking about Western Hotel. And this is the hotel that is associated with the first family. And you can see what we mean when we talk about land. When we talk about land, the report of Dongo report is there. And I think, I don't know why successive governments have not implemented the Dongo report. There is also the Akiumi report, na tunaona kwamba serikali mbalimbali zimekuwa zikisoma ile ripoti, and the report has been gathering dust in government offices. When you talk about land, talk about public land, we are talking about playgrounds that were acquired through illegal means and given to individuals or institutions such as schools. We are talking about public toilets, areas that were designated for public toilets, areas that were designated for markets, areas that were designated for schools, areas that actually were designated for social amenities, including hospitals. So on the illegal land, study schools, churches, businesses, markets, estates, homes, and sometimes a whole community. So this is something that can change this country for good. This is one issue that William Samoei Ruto need to be very, very careful on the way it is going to be handled. Kwa sababu, if it is mishandled, it can bring this nation down. If it is mishandled, it can bring even the government down. In fact, I've never seen any attachment to anything as far as Kenyans are concerned compared to land. The issue of land is so dear to Kenyans that they can do anything to preserve their ownership. So, what can we expect here, ladies and gentlemen? Because I think starting today or tomorrow, CS Alice Wahome is going to lead this exercise. Number one, in my view, there will be a lot of resistance. A lot of resistance from the business community, a lot of resistance from the rich people, because what normally happens is that when such a directive is given, they normally go for the small fish. They don't go for the big fish. So you expect a lot of resistance. And even the small communities, because I know there are some communities that have settled in some areas and they are likely to resist. If they are resisting the building of affordable housing, the acquisition of land for the affordable housing by William Samoei Ruto government, what about repossessing their land? Because in some instances, some people do not even know whether they have settled on illegally acquired land, because maybe they are the fifth generation. They have been inheriting this land. The land has been passed from one generation to the other. So expect a lot of resistance. Number two, we are likely to see bloodshed. Huo ni ukweli. Whether damu ikamwagika. In the course of resistance, the police are likely to clobber the people, the occupants. The police are likely to use a lot of force, excessive force, unnecessary force. So expect baadhi ya watu kupoteza hata maisha yao. Expect a lot of destruction of properties. Some houses will be brought down. Skyscrapers will be brought down. People's mansionettes and bungalows are likely to be brought down. So we expect a lot of destruction of property, something that is not even going to make economic sense. Again, expect people to take the political angle, because it will look like people are being victimized politically for holding a different opinion, a contrary opinion from William Samoei Ruto. Gojea utaona vile ambavyo siasa zitawaka katika nchi hii. Goja uone vile ambavyo siasa zitachukua mwelekeo mwingine, because in this country normally every issue is given a political angle, and there are some people who capitalize on this and they make even money using this, because expect also a lot of litigations. Kuna watu wataenda kotini, kuna watu wataenda mahakamani kupiga swala hili, na swala hili huenda likachukua muda mrefu sana kuliko vile ambavyo rais anavyotarajia, kwa sababu kesi zikienda kotini, zikienda mahakamani, rais hana uwezo wa kusema zitachukua muda gani, and the courts are likely to stop this. Something else, this could be a seed of a revolution. You know, Kenyans have been talking about a revolution, na hii inaweza kuwa ni mbegu ya mapinduzi, mapinduzi ya kijamii, mapinduzi ya kisiasa, mapinduzi ya kiuchumi, kwa sababu nafikiri watu hatagojea, kwa sababu wakati ambapo sasa unaenda kuambia watu ambao wamekaa pale miaka mingi waondoke pale, what do you expect? Nafikiri watakuibia nyimbo za Lele Mama, au watakuibia nyimbo za mapenzi eti kwa sababu mnakuja kuwatoa pale. Si kazi rahisi. Again, there's likely to be humanitarian crisis. A humanitarian crisis that is likely to attract the attention of the world. A crisis of monumental proportion. A crisis not seen again in this country. A humanitarian crisis worse than the 2007 post-election violence. Expect people to be displaced. Expect human or population displacement. Expect also human rights to come in and defend the people who owns this land. Because what I know, some of these so-called illegally acquired land have title deeds, genuine title deeds. But the way they acquired the title deeds, I don't know. Remember, I don't support in any way force or fraudulent acquisition of land. I don't. I'm one person who advocates the rule of law. I'm one person who always wish that politicians, because most of the problems that you see in this country have been brought by the politicians. Most of the ills that you see in this country have been brought by greed, corruption, tribalism, name it. That is what is happening. And as William Samoei Ruto was saying this, I know some people were acquiring land illegally. I know of a person who is crying kwa sababu shamba lake because I think this one should also be addressed. Shamba lake limechukuliwa kule Banana, I think karibu na senior chief Koinange. Shamba lake analalamika ya kwamba limechukuliwa na bwenyenye. Maskini hana chake, kwa sababu unapata vile ambavyo unafanya kule Ardhi House, hama jamaa wanaangalia ardhi ambayo labda mwenyewe labda mmiliki wa lile shamba labda alikufa, na wanatumia njia za magedo kunyakua yale mashamba na wanaanza kuyauza. Wengine wenye mashamba walihamia ng'ambo, tuseme kwa mfano Marekani, na kile ambacho tunapata sasa ni watu ambao wanafanya kazi pale wakiuza haya mashamba, because I know, I think you know somebody who lost his land because of fraudulently operations. I also know that the courts have been part of this process, whereby you see some people going to court through adverse possession. Unajua sasa kile kitu ambacho ningetaka Wakenya wapende amani wafahamikiwe ni kwamba unapoishi mahali fulani kwa muda wa miaka 12 mfululizo na wewe hakuna kitu unalipa, don't pay even a single cent, after 12 years you are supposed to acquire that land through what is called adverse possession. And you can Google the law of adverse possession, maybe you could be lucky kuna shamba la mtu umekalia pale, but this is something that utapata kwamba mahakama zetu vile ambavyo wanafanya, baadhi ya majaji mawakili, they collude with these people and the land is transferred to them. I know because it happened to us. I know because it happened to some of our friends. Na wizi ambao unatokea hapa. Kwa hivyo, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to think about this directive. I don't know what is going to happen, but this is something that will be very, very interesting. It will be a developing story, and you can keep on watching. Have a blessed day, and please remember to always like this video. When you like the video, you support this channel. When you comment, you support this channel. When you share the video, you support this channel. But the best thing you can do to support this channel is to watch the advertisements. Once you watch the advertisements without skipping, by the way, you support us in a big, big way. Bye-bye.